Hi there, my name is Jörg Wiedenmann. I'm a professor of biological oceanography and head of the Coral Reef Laboratory at the University of Southampton. And this is also where we are today. So we are in our experimental facility where I'm representing the research theme, Global Change, Systems and Cycles. This is one of the four so-called grand challenges to which the Institute of Life Sciences has given strategic priority. They form the core of the interdisciplinary life science research within the university, and they also reflect the university's life science strategy, which realizes that the most pressing societal problems have solutions only spanning academic disciplines. Consequently, the university has invested heavily in the field of interdisciplinarity to meet these demands, and the Institute of Life Science is one of the most prominent manifestations of these efforts. At the same time, these grand challenges represent areas of internationally recognized excellence at the University of Southampton. So we have the new pathways to health, we have life technologies, human nexus, and the global change systems and cycles. So the new pathways to health, they appreciate that we need health solutions for the entire human life, basically from before birth up to the old age. Under life technologies, we provide the solutions for these studies. So we create new tools and technological approaches to actually make these studies feasible. And in the human nexus, we find solutions to handle all these huge amounts of data which are produced in the other grand challenges. So, for example, the advent of next generation sequencing, of supercomputing, gives us the opportunity to handle huge amounts of data, but we need to find ways, innovative new ways to do this. And finally, we want to situate our research in a broader global context, and this is why we also consider our life science research in the context of a globalized world, and we are looking at various systems and cycles in this context. So within the grand challenge, global change, system and cycles, we recognize that global change sharpens the reciprocal interactions between human societies, ecosystems, and the abiotic environment. So, for example, there's a close connections between biochemical processes in the oceans and the atmosphere. So one prominent example is that rising levels of CO2, which result from burning of fossil fuel, they increase first the CO2 levels in the atmosphere, but subsequently they lead to an acidification of the ocean and a lot of changes which are imposed on marine ecosystem. So advanced technology and interdisciplinary research is really crucial to provide information required to understand these complex systems and cycles. And as these approaches will also be required to work towards a sustainable future. Under our grand challenge, we recognize that a deep understanding of global change can only be generated by studying its impact at multiple levels. So we need to range from the large-scale system and cycles affecting whole ecosystems down to the molecular level, and especially the small-scale level that allows us to understand what is going on at a larger scale. So our research will be boosted by collaborations with leading experts from the university and the National Oceanography Centre, both of which have a particular strength in environmental research. Together we aim to understand how changes in environmental conditions affect large-scale systems and cycles, and subsequently the functioning of ecosystems and human societies that depend on them. So within the grand challenge, global change, system and cycles, we have focused on specific research themes, the environmental, microbiology, ecosystem functioning, and environmental metrology. So we recognize that the bacteria are everywhere, they are key players in ecosystem functioning, and we are actually knowing not enough to understand how they contribute to the functioning of ecosystems under climate change. So we realize that ecosystems are the functional units. These are the part of the natural environment on which we as human societies depend, and they are threatened by various anthropogenic impacts, by climate change. So we need to understand how they respond and how we can help these ecosystems to further provide their services for us. And finally, we need to have access to advanced measuring technologies to measure these subtle differences in environmental parameters, in changes over longer periods. And for this purpose, we are focusing on developing new technology, and this is a theme which is addressed under environmental metrology. So at the University of Southampton, we want to do research with impact. So we are really determined that our findings do not stay only in this building, but they make a wider impact. We want to influence policy making, so especially in the sector of environmental research, it's important that our findings are heard by policy makers who are then shaping the future by certain directions in which we affect our natural environment. So we appreciate that education plays an important role in this context, so we have a prime focus on research-led teaching. So we are teaching our students the results that we are generating here in our labs, so they are really at the pulse of the research and they're learning what we are up to. And I think this is an important vector how we can translate our research into changes in society by making our students ambassadors for our research findings. And we also interact with the general public. So we have an open policy, so we invite the public to join us on various events during the year, to visit us online and to talk to us on various occasions. So when we are moving towards the future, we are always talking about new solutions, but we also should not forget that many of our problems are still there. We haven't solved them yet. We may have understood what is going on, but we didn't provide yet the appropriate solutions. So if we are worrying now about biodiversity loss, so we need to stop cutting down our rainforests and also to destroy coral reefs, because at the end, if global climate change will hit this ecosystem, it may just be that they are not there anymore simply because they have been destroyed by other problems for which we didn't provide a solution yet.